Welcome back to the Zen Game podcast, where we go inside the minds of college athletes. I am here with Keely and Madison from the softball team at Texas State. I'm always just curious about the initial spark of what drives you to do the thing that you do.
I don't think it was much an initial spark. I think it's just always having a reason behind what I do. And that's my family and especially my parents because they've gone above and beyond to get me here and I cannot thank them enough. They, I mean, have gone through so much stuff in order for me to even be sitting here right now with you talking. So I just think I do everything for them.
Oh, that's special. What about for you? Did you have an initial seed?
Kind of the same answer as Maddie. I would say maybe it's more of a gradual thing because over time we've learned certain things and we've grown through certain adversities to understand how much this game means to us. And I would say it's not just me individually, it's a team because my friends, my family, and all coaches, they've helped me grow to where I am today.
Yeah, and speaking on that team element, do you guys remember your first impressions of each other?
So the first thing I can think, it's actually funny. I don't want to.
Oh God.
Uh-oh.
Because,
Spill the tea.
well,
Shoot, I'm scared.
but
What are you about
no,
to
it's
say?
not bad. It's the first thing I can think of just because I saw a video was
God.
the Round Rock versus Judson game
Oh yeah.
playoffs.
Yeah,
we
talk
played each
about
other in high
that.
school.
It was my junior year, her sophomore year, and we were, I don't know what round of playoffs, maybe
I think it was the third, wasn't it, or
third,
second?
maybe,
One of those.
I guess the round before, I don't know, before we go to state, or no, it was the one before that. I don't know.
One
Maybe,
of the
round
rounds
3.
early on, whatever.
But we had played at Round Rock, my high school versus her high school, and it was one of the craziest games ever. But I saw a video yesterday, it was 2 outs, bases loaded, and we scored, and there was an obstruction play and all this, and I saw her, she was screaming because she they got me out, but then there was obstruction. But I was like, oh, that's funny, a coincidence, I guess. But
Yeah.
I think technically we go back to travel ball
Mm-hmm.
because we've played with each other and against each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but you thought she was cool or something?
I mean, I wasn't worried about her when we got here, so.
Yeah, well, I would say at least in travel ball and even in high school, I'm oh my God, it's not we're facing Round Rock High School, we're facing Maddie. That's how I always thought it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's kind of special.
I've never had I don't want to say a doubt or a worry about her. I've always just again, known each other for a long time, but not really closely. So it's almost you get a different perspective when you're actually with the person every day and you get to know them and who they are now. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't have no worry about her, so.
Yeah. And so you guys play different positions, but still must have to trust each other a lot. How do you work on that trust, both between y'all, but also between the team?
I would say it's a lot about communication because I feel there's sometimes where the whole team, we don't really do it well. And then there's times where we can do it well. And I think that's definitely you can see the difference in when we play a game and nobody's talking, nobody's saying anything, even if it's just little cheers, those help me, especially when I'm in the circle, because if I'm playing and everybody's just dead silent because we're not doing good or we're losing, it doesn't help at all. So I just think the little things communication is what starts with the trust.
How was that like you said, you started out at A&M. You started as a freshman, right? What was that experience like?
It was pretty awesome, I would say, from a playing standpoint, because you hear that freshmen just come in and it's a learning curve their first year. They're not going to go and play, and when you get there, it's oh, well, the reality is the opposite. I'm actually on the field. And it was, there was a lot of learning curves. There was a lot of just things to learn about. But at the same time, you're playing at a place that you don't really feel appreciated or just you're not comfortable in your own skin. I think that was a hard thing because, I mean, you want to be comfortable where you're at. Yeah. And when there is adversity and there's times where it is uncomfortable, you want to be able to challenge that and you want to be able to fight through that, whatever that it may be. And I feel like because I wasn't comfortable where I was at, that was hard being in those moments. So
yeah, but it also must have given you a confidence boost in a way, right?
it
Just
did.
being able to be out there.
Yeah, it did in a way, but at the same time, like, I mean, still, if there's like a piece of you that's like, this doesn't feel right. It was weird because even while I was there, it was kind of like, I like Texas State. And once I got to like actually go on a visit and like meet the coaches, and I kind of knew the girls beforehand, but once I like learned like who these like people are and what this culture is like, then I started to love it. And then when I actually was on the team, signed, and was like here, I was like, wow, like I am in love with this place. This is awesome.
Okay, so you felt that shift right away. That must have been like a really big relief too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was great because I mean, like for 2 years, like it was just rough because it was like, I mean, again, like I was kind of just out of my skin or out of my shoes kind of deal. And like almost instantly, like I felt like I was at home. Because like the people were, I mean, really kind. The culture and the atmosphere that Texas State or really Texas State softball has created for me, like it's home.
What do you guys have a favorite moment this season?
I'll say this because we had said it recently, or actually like 2 days ago. So every year during the fall, we have Bobcat Olympics. She already knows where I'm going with it. But every year we have Bobcat Olympics, and it's just like, how would you describe it?
Like we get split into 2 teams and we're just like playing a bunch of like different sports or games. Like we came out here and played flag football, and then there was one where didn't we play like
we played pickleball.
Yeah.
We
Out
played
here? No.
we played
we do like in the gyms, like inside, but
Yeah.
we came out here for the
we did.
part.
Yeah, we came out here, like played on the football field, and yeah, that was a lot.
It was a lot.
We played pickleball. There's some sport called nitro ball.
Oh yeah, that.
Oh,
It's
that
just
is?
a bunch of like different random things, and we're just like playing games every single day, like trying to beat each other.
Yep.
But the last day is it's a fitness challenge.
Yes.
So it doesn't have anything to do with like another sport or anything. And so you're like in the weight room doing like a bunch of reps and sets of something, and then you have to like take a lap around the parking lot and do it like over and over and over again. Then you have to go down to the river to canoe. Like we're canoeing up and down the river, and she got the rest of
so I mean, after we did our little CrossFit event and then we ran over to the river, it was me and another teammate. It was Abby Garcia. Garza. Oh my God, I just said Garcia. Abby Garza. Anyways, but we were the last 2 to go for our team, and we were supposed to row uphill.
Upstream.
Upstream.
Yeah.
My God, what am I saying?
Okay. I got you.
Thanks. But yeah, upstream.
It is hard.
And what is it, a kayak or canoe?
It's a canoe.
Canoe. I don't know the difference. But
I don't know the difference either.
well, as you can see,
we're rowing
I
up
don't know.
something.
We're rowing up something, but it was just me and Abby, and we got in, and it's like what, maybe like 100 yards, if that. Like it's probably less than that. And immediately when we got in, we were tied with the other team, and then we just started going straight left, and I was like, uh-oh, what's going on? Abby had no idea what was going on.
That current is strong
It's
too.
So it
Yeah.
was a current.
Yeah.
Like you just started. It was out of your control.
And we
Yeah.
crashed into the side and like to like all the moss and grass and stuff. And then all of a sudden I was like, you know what? Let me just get out and push us out. Don't know why. Stay in the boat. And I get us out of that grass. And when I get back in, I didn't even like touch the boat, and we fall in. Completely flipped. There's a video out there.
Oh my!
And-
Someone had it on video.
Yes, one of our coaches.
Oh
and
my gosh!
we got back in. Half of it is filled with water. We don't have fish at this moment yet, but then we somehow were able to get back in, row halfway, and we get stuck again. And we keep on like zigzagging. And this time Abby was like, let me get out. So then she jumps out and we don't really go anywhere. I think we turn around backwards, go the other way. Then she thought she had the bright idea to get back in with no, like, she's like neck deep into the water and thinks like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just push myself in. Flips us both.
Oh my gosh.
And at this point, the kayak or canoe or whatever is completely submerged. It's all the way, it's dragging on the bottom. I'm like, at least like my nose is at least above in the water, like
What did you
dragging
do?
We just dragged it back. Somehow we made it back to shore. We had fishes. I think we had a little tiny little
But
turtle in
you
there.
dragged how? Like
Just literally
walking
like
on the land? Just
swimming.
okay.
Swimming underwater, pulling it with my hand so it doesn't stay submerged on the bottom of the river.
Oh my gosh, that would have stressed me out, but I bet it was so much fun.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, no, it was a funny moment because it's like, I mean, we're both new and like me and Abby, like we talked here and there, but like now like being on the team, we have like a shared like PTSD moment.
Sure,
And like,
trauma.
yeah, shared trauma. So like anytime like we talk about like the river, we're like, oh no, like don't put us in that kayak together, please.
That's so good. That's the San Marcos River, right?
Yes, it's
Okay.
the one like right over here.
Okay. So, as an athlete, who's often like defined by their stats, what's something non-stat related that is important in your life right now?
Honestly, I would just say like being able to like work together as a team, or like the bond that you create with the girls on the team. Like I feel like that's something that matters over like any kind of stats. Like yeah, you could do amazing or be doing terrible, but like if you're still like having fun even while you're sucking, like because you have the girls that are there to pick you up that know like they know you inside and out, so they know like what you need in order to be picked up. And I just think that that's like, I mean, you can't ask for anything else, so.
Yeah, I would say exactly that. Cause like, I mean, being that we do have new people and we last year graduated a lot of seniors, it's a new team. So we need to build these new relationships and have good communication, have a good bond in order to play well. And I mean, to have fun because I mean, we're all together in this and we have to do well on the field. So off the field, like we need to be great as well.
And as we kind of come to a close here, what are your goals for the rest of the season?
I would just say like, just be consistent, and that's kind of one of the things that we're trying to figure out, I guess, because one of the things is like energy. Are we gonna have be a cheering team, or are we just gonna pick each other up, or are we gonna be loud, or we're gonna be quiet? Like that's one of the things that we're trying to figure out. And I would say like we do a pretty good job like hyping each other up, and I guess that goes back to the communication piece where if we're always talking to each other and always building that bond, I would say is like where we can have fun and where we can play well and be at our best. So yeah, just being consistent with energy, and then just our hard work, I would say, is one of the main things.
I mean, shoot, I'd say the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
like I pay attention to my stats, but I also don't really like, I don't base them off of like who I'm gonna be that day. Like I don't look at my stats and say, oh my God, my ERA went up. Like now I'm gonna like be pitching on my toes or something. Like I mean, obviously stats are something that you pay attention to and you want them to be good, but at the same time, like it doesn't define you and who you are. Like I personally don't think they matter that much, but other people may say otherwise. But
Yeah.
but I mean, for me, I would just say like personally to just be able, again, like how I said before, like trusting in myself, because I feel like there's a lot of times where I don't do that because I get so scared that I get scared of failure. And I think that like it's taken a lot for me. Even now, like I understand it's part of the game, but there are still like little bits and pieces of me that, again, they're just like scared. But I feel like that's with a lot of people, like I feel like it's almost impossible to not be scared of failure. Like it's part of the game, it's gonna happen, and I know that and I understand that, but sometimes it's just a lot and hard to like take in and actually process and use that to make myself better.
And lastly, 10 years from now, when you look back to your time playing softball, what do you hope to remember the most?
This question, whenever I hear it, like people assume that like you're gonna remember like your biggest moments of like when you, I don't know, hit a grand slam, or when you had like 20 strikeouts in a game, like those are cool, but I think the moments of like how like our teammates celebrate us, or how we celebrate our teammates, or like these big moments, like it's more of the reaction piece rather than the outcome. But I would say just like with our girls, like they're our best friends. And I mean, hopefully 10 years down the line, we're still talking to each other, but I would say with this team dynamic, like I believe that. So just really like our friendships and our bond.
What about for you?
I mean, I would say like the same thing. Like when I look back at it in 10 years, wherever I'm at and whatever I'm doing, like obviously like I'm gonna remember like the things that I did, or remember like the big games that we won. But I feel like in the end, like it's the little like fun and dumb moments, even like falling out of a kayak or
You'll never
canoe,
forget
whatever.
that.
Like just little things that like, I mean, just happy moments. Like obviously not saying winning isn't happy, but I feel like for me, I more remember like the personal and outside of softball memories rather than the ones that are on the field. But
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for talking with me today.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Of course, yeah, I'm super excited to see you guys unfold this rest of the season and see where it takes you. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.